When you're in a relationship, it's automatic that you're going to respect that person, right? Hopefully, right? Like, hopefully that's like the goal. But is respect really enough to keep that relationship together? I want to really speak my heart on this video on the purple couch, because this is what we do when you sit on this couch, right? Just like the truth comes out and it's just real talk, real conversation, raw talk. I really want to address respect versus admiration, and why I feel, and I've gathered, right, throughout my years of research, just in talking to different women, different men, on why some relationships don't work out and why other relationships seem to flourish and get through anything. Because there are those type of relationships where you could sit back and sometimes like admire and say, man, they really do get through things, right? And they are genuinely happy, because there are people that go through things, get through things, but they're miserable. There are those relationships that thrive regardless. On my journey of being a single woman, I think I really have loved this time of self-discovery, of self-recognition, right? Like recognizing things in me and recognizing things that work for me and things that don't work for me. And we're all different, right? Just because I think this way doesn't mean you have to think this way. But what I have noticed is that as women, it's a commonality that we share. We share a lot of commonalities. And so one thing that I think is super critical when, I guess, engaging a partner, a potential partner, or maybe thinking about marrying this person, and I think it goes both ways. Obviously, I speak as a woman, right, because I'm a woman, but I feel like this goes for men as well. Respect and admiration. They're two different things. Yes, when you're in a relationship, it's automatic that you're going to respect that person, right? Hopefully. Is respect really enough to keep that relationship together? No, it's not. Because the truth is you want to be able to sit back and be like, you know what? Like, I admire my person. I truly admire them for the entire whole amazing person that they are. Right? Like, don't you want to be able to sit back and just like say like, that's my man. Like, that's my wife. I chose that person because I admire them. And I'm not talking about like some weird admiration, like groupie shit type of thing, but I'm talking about like admiration is very different than respect. And I think a lot of relationships are lacking that admiration factor. Like, do you really admire your partner? Do you really admire the whole person that they are? Do you admire them as a businessman? Do you admire her as a career woman? Do you admire her as a mother? Do you admire her as a woman? Like, forget the titles, right? Forget the titles on anybody. Do you admire that person? Or when you look at this person, are you just like, ugh, like, what made me fall in love with them? Like, there's nothing about that person that makes me feel proud. And this really does come from experiences from me and having boyfriends in the past that I've admired. Obviously not enough because I'm with them. But like, I've had experiences where I've learned this. I've learned to say, you know what? Like, I really admire that dude so much. And I think a lot of admiration can come from your partner teaching you new things. Right? Your partner teaching you stuff that maybe you never knew, or things that are new to you. And like, you know what, Papi, thank you for making me better, as I want to make you better. And listen, you guys, ladies especially, this isn't just for men. This is men with women too. Like, I love to pick a man's brain, and let me tell you something. Whether it's in person, whether it's on social media, whether it's, however I engage with people, one of my specialties is to pick people's brains. And I love to do that. And that's why I call it research, because that's what it is, right? I love to pick a man's brain and say, do you admire your queen? Do you admire the woman that you're with? Or are you just like not really intrigued by her? Yeah, she's the mother of your kids, But does this woman really, can you really sit back and say, I admire that woman? Her tenacity, her strength, her focus, her passion. Like, I love that this woman is passion driven, purpose driven. So it goes both ways. You know, this is a very neutral video. I really want to do it with the neutral standpoint. Obviously, I elevate the voice of a woman because I'm a woman, but I've come to the conclusion that so many relationships out there fail because they're lacking the admiration for their person, for their lover, for their wife, for their husband. And then 10, 12 years down the road, you're sitting back in this relationship and you're just like looking at this person with dirty looks like, ugh, like you disgust me. Because I didn't take enough time from the beginning to ask myself, do I admire this person for who they are? For, you know, there's nothing as a woman, there's nothing like sitting back and seeing your man be all that he is and just saying, wow, like you blow me away. Like I get to go home with that. You know, I get to have that in my life. I get to have that in my energy space, in my energy field. And I like you. I truly like you as a person. I like everything you stand for. I love the integrity you operate with. I love the way you're magical. You're great with your words. I'm just talking about, and the things that are coming to my mind are things that I've admired in men. I love the way you conduct business. I love the way you speak to a public audience. I love how you operate. And that in turn makes me want to admire you. And I do. It doesn't make me want to. I do admire you. So I wanted to do this video because I just really wanted to drop that seed out there. Admiration is a game changer. And it could really give a relationship longevity. It could really give a relationship substance. It could make a relationship never be boring because you admire your person. You're constantly in admiration of how they move, of how they talk, of how they grow, of how you see your person constantly wanting to become a better version of themselves. That's admirable versus looking at your person and being like, bro, like you are so complacent. What happened to you? You're not the person that I met. Keep evolving, right? And then you eventually feel sometimes that you got to be that woman or that man that's like pushing your person. Like, what happened to you, man? I don't even admire you anymore. And then this is where like divorce comes into play, lack of respect, you know, name calling. Back to what I was saying, there's a big difference between respect and admiration in a relationship. So I'm super curious to know your guys' thoughts on this. Please leave a comment down below. This is a video that I knew wasn't going to be super long, but it's something that I really wanted to put out there because a lot of the relationships, people that I admire their relationships, they do have that admiration factor to them. And I also know people that have been married for 28 years that there is zero admiration. And the only reason they're together is because of the kids or because of the grandkids, but there's zero admiration of one another. And I can't admire relationships like that. Like, yeah, you pulled through it all, through everything, you know, things I would have never forgiven or looked the other way. Congratulations. But is that a quality relationship? Admiration in your person is the name of the game. It will change the relationship. It's what gives a relationship that like, I admire you, baby, and I always want to admire you. And it gives it that excitement feel. That's one thing that I've discovered in my solitude of like, I really, me, RaqC, I have to really admire the man that I marry and my partner in the future. Like, respect is not enough. I want to admire you for being your own dope person. Just like I want you to admire me for being my own dope person. And imagine together we could come and build our own dopeness together. But individually, I want you to sit back and look at me and say, you know what? That's my queen. I married that woman. And every time she makes me proud. And every time I just admire her more and more. Not because she's beautiful because she's a great speaker, but because she just stays true to who she is, and she's constantly finding ways to evolve, grow, and be the best version of herself. That's how you admire a partner. Let me know your thoughts on respect versus admiration. They are two different things. Do you agree? Have you ever been in a relationship? Are you married to somebody right now that you're like, you know what, RaqC, this is why my relationship has lasted, because I truly admire my man. And I've admired him from the first day that I met him. There's a lot of women and men, you guys, walking on this planet right now in relationships where they don't admire their person. And I'm sure that they feel the emptiness, and I'm sure that their partner feels the emptiness. And it's just like, dang, you didn't pay attention from the beginning. Admiration wasn't important to you, just respect, you know, but there has to be admiration for the person that you want to build longevity with. And that is Bible. I love you guys. Make sure you share my videos with a friend, anybody that you feel might need to hear any of the messages or any of the purple couch talks that we talk about here weekly. Thank you for your love, for your support. I love creating content for you guys. And I'm gonna be in my kitchen real soon creating more recipes, whipping it up, and yeah, just motivating you guys as your homegirl RaqC. I love y'all, and I'll see you next time. Mwah!